tried to knock you out. They tried to kick you where it hurts. You got up, you kept going. That was in there.
I think they know the writing's on the wall. Maguire, Senior, back to Maguire. Danny Maguire for Leeds. The young hero to win the grand final, baby.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Lot Pod, the Leeds Rhinos Lot 17A podcast, kindly sponsored by ACD&B, who are a branding and creative design agency based in Farsley, Leeds. They create standout brands, so for any companies out there that need a brand new logo or a brand refresh, just get in touch with ACD&B. Thanks as always to them for sponsoring us, not just sponsoring the podcast, but as always, we thank them for producing, for designing the Lot 17A fanzine. We still have a couple of issues of issue 2 available to buy. If you just Google the Lot Pod store, type that into Google, into your search engine, that first link, the Lot Pod store, that's us there. We have a couple of badges and a couple of fanzines left to buy. So this is the match review panel for Leeds versus Catalan Dragons. Joining me as always, my co-host, my right-hand man, our amazing statsman, Statman Reese.
I'm a stat man.
Freeze.
I think a good starting point, Reese, is, well, first of all, how are you?
I've felt better as a human being. Let's put it that way.
Do you want to tell people why you're feeling a little?
I just had a very good day yesterday.
There's
a very
nothing
good
wrong with
day. So well that I got up woke up about 11:30 this morning, rewatched the game because obviously nothing better to do. Got out of bed, went to Keighley, watched Keighley stuff Bradford. So that made my weekend even better. And then I went back to bed until you called me about 5 minutes ago saying, "Where are you?"
Reese. Hi, Eddie. How are you? Where are you? It's 7 o'clock.
So yeah, normally you ask me how am I. I've felt better. Let's put it that way. I've felt better.
But you're here, and that's all that matters. Indeed. Who's joining us today? I think it's Lot Pod number 15.
Well, it depends on your squads, but I think so. It's our Phil. Hiya, Phil. How are you? Hi, Phil. Can you hear us?
Are you there, Phil? Earth to Phil. What a start. Philip. Speak.
How are we doing, guys? All right. Thanks for having us back on.
No problem. God, I thought I was having some kind of fit then.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Hello.
Can you hear him, Reese?
I am speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. So this is the match review panel for Leeds versus Catalan Dragons. Live on Channel 4. I don't mean we're live on Channel 4. The game was live on Channel 4. We'll start with positives. Phil, quite a lot of positives from me here in that, first of all, from the team sheet, Newman, Johnson, Walters, McDonnell, all in and around, either starting or on the bench. Just from a kind of first instincts, Phil, a couple of positives for you?
Big positive for me yesterday was O'Connor at hooker.
Yeah.
You know, I know we had a bit of worry about what we're going to do and filling that gap, but I think he stepped up massive yesterday. Lissoni had a decent knock when he came on. McDonnell, he's like this. I call him like the silent assassin because he doesn't seem to be vocal or whatever, but he just goes around the pitch, just sort of like bending people in half. And you know, for the size of him, he does that. But Harry Newman being back's always a bonus in it. He's just got, I think he's got that bit of nastiness in him, what we want, and you can see that. And the team seemed to feed off it yesterday, but I think he's just got to watch his discipline a little bit because Mickey Mack rattled him in the first couple of minutes, and since then he would just seem to be nitpicking as if he got under his skin. But yeah, I think whether yesterday played into our type of style of rugby, what we wanted to play, and we played a little bit more free rein rather than too structured, which I think suited us down to the ground really.
Reece, positives?
I've got about 25. So
on the top.
I think the first positive was the crowd, the attendance. I thought the club had done a very good deal in terms of advertising the game. The South Stand, I would argue that's probably the best the South Stand has been since it's been redone. And whether that's because of the refereeing decisions that didn't go our way in the first half, but people really got behind the team, and I think they felt it. Rowan alluded to it in his post-match conference as well. So I think the crowd was my starting point. The fact that we stuck in there, I think again every player. We talked about it, but we had it on the mailbag, didn't we? And sometimes when we win, we'll praise every player. It's probably going to be a podcast like that because we will.
No, it is. I can guarantee it.
every player was great, but we hung in. And I mean, the biggest positive was Blake Austin. Yeah. Someone in the comments has put, "What did he have for breakfast?" I don't know. Whether someone else asked if it's because of we're being linked to Luke Brooks. Whatever he did that morning, he just needs to do it again.
He does. You took the words out of my mouth. No matter what he ate, how many times he went to the toilet, no matter what he did on Saturday morning, his whole build-up to the game, he has to do it again. Because, I mean, we might as well start with Stone Cold Blake Austin because do you feel, right, because it had everything. The only thing he could have done better was score. Everything else was absolutely incredible. His kicking game, he kicked a 40-20, got a couple of assists, the kick for Martin's try, come on to later. But that kind of standard, that was legitimately like a 10 out of 10 performance. Now, I don't think, and I'll come to Phil first, but I personally think, unless you're Danny Maguire, it is impossible to play at that level consistently. Do you agree with that, Phil? And what did you think of Austin's game?
But yeah, Blake Austin, like you said, I think everything he tried yesterday had come off on it. He had one of them games where, like I said, what his pre-match routine was. It would be so hard for him to play at that level week in, week out, but that's what we expect as Rhino fans in it from history, what we've got, like you said, with Maguire and things like that, who could always consistently play at that level. But he would have mentioned yesterday, Blake Austin. You know, he had a hand in a couple of tries, and like I said, he bends people in half as if he's 20-odd stone, muscle-bound back rower, but he were immense, like you said. You know, I mean, even when he set Alfords up for this try, he just seemed to be cantering down that left touchline, and he just knew when he had to give it. As soon as them defenders come across, and he knew he just sucked them. But yeah, he were brilliant yesterday. He were really brilliant. And again, it's kind of like he'd been told to have that free rein, go play your game, your style of rugby, and we'll fit around you. And yeah, I thought he was great yesterday. I thought he really was good.
Agree with that, Reece?
I think so. I mean, I'm just looking at Austin's stats actually. So he got 18 carries, 129 meters, 2 clean breaks. He's been accredited with 2 assists, 22 tackles in total. I mean, the 18 carries is more than anyone on the pitch on the day. Oh, sorry, for a Rhino anyway. But also he did 13 kicks in general play and 5 attacking kicks, whereas Caesar only did 6 kicks in total. So I kind of like how Caesar just recognised that Austin was in the groove and just let him do it. But some of those high bombs were ridiculous kicks. They were so. I mean, I remember last year there was a game last year where I went all a bit orgasmic about one of his kicks.
Okay, at home.
Yeah. Whereas that 40-20 he did was outstanding. So I mean, and the stats absolutely back it up. He got 4 tackle busts as well, 2 clean breaks. It was all bar scored a try, a 10 out of 10 performance, as you said.
Yeah, I think it was, and I think to try to stay at that standard's impossible. Like, I don't think we can expect that from him consistently because it's too perfect. If he'd have scored, it's the perfect game.
Yeah.
Win the game, couple of assists. His kicking game, unbelievable. Now, I sit at the very, very far right-hand side looking at the pitch of the south stand, and Austin's kind of set play from a kick stands on that corner. And I noticed he kept, because it was quite windy, he kept picking up blades of grass and like throwing it in the air as if to try and figure out which way the wind was swirling. So when he put the kick in for the Martin try, it was just like a torpedo. I thought, how can anyone catch that? And obviously it rang true because no one did. And then Martin scored an incredible try off the back of it. But I feel, in terms of, I can't remember who said in the comments, you have to forgive me, but we did get linked for Luke Brooks last week. I don't care if that's what's made Blake Austin play like this. I don't care any reason why. I just want to see more of it. We've kind of spoke about our halfbacks now.
Just need to week then. We just need to create a new room then.
Yeah. Just drop a few more names in.
Next week we'll say it's Mitchell Moses. Yeah, next week it's Mitchell Moses. Next week it'll be Cleary. Yeah, just keep doing it week in, week out. That's what we need to do, just to keep it on.
Right, so we all have to agree now. Us three and the people in the comments, we all have to choose one name, one halfback from the NRL that we all agree we're going to create the rumour around so Blake Austin stays at this level. Everybody in the live chat now, you all have to agree with one NRL halfback. Yeah. We kind of briefly touched on it there. Another player, regardless of him missing loads of goal kicks, which is just a complete freak abnormality. I still felt Reece Martin was awesome. Yeah, I thought he was absolutely awesome. And his try, Reece, I mean, we've spoke about the try we scored against St Helens and how we thought that could be Gloucester. I can't remember who scored it. We passed it loads from one wing. It came across to the other. And we spoke about that being a contender for try of the season. I think this Reece Martin try is up there as well. What did you think of that one, Reece?
The ingenuity to do it. I mean, I'd love to have Arthur Morg in the Rhino side. I think Arthur Morg's great, but I don't know what he's doing. Because he looks over his right shoulder, and what he doesn't realise is there's a Papua New Guinea international guy coming right on his left shoulder and touches it down. But yeah, the ingenuity, and it's just the now, since instead of just going the plays over, just doing something that extra mile, just doing something completely different to try to get that, just doing that extra bit. I don't know how to really phrase it, but I thought the try was brilliant, and the ingenuity that he did. It just shows how good of a player he is, but what it means to him as well.
You agree with that, Phil?
Yeah. From the kick on last tackle and to keep it alive as well. But I think, to back up what Reece said there, when you see the try back, and you can see that desire. I think in weeks gone by, our old team, we might have just probably give up and just being happy to get that ball over at dead ball line or whatever. You can actually see the desire on Reece Martin's face when he's hunting him down to think, I can do something here. And it was that desire and that want to actually score the try, which was really, really good. But yeah, like you said, it was just the audacity to try something like that, a second row, playing out in the centre, and then, outpacing one of probably quickest fullbacks in Super League and coming up with that. Yeah,
he did look quick, didn't he?
Really,
I thought.
Really
I wonder if he's been working on his speed, because when he made a clean break in the second half, didn't he? And he was sprinting, and I thought, God, he looked really quick, did Reece Martin? I didn't realise how quick he was. And then also when he got the cross-field kick, I love that kick. Just doing that at our own 20-metre line, I love that. But I thought it was Nenny McDonald that was catching it, so I thought, oh, right, we're in here. But I didn't realise it was Reece. But yeah, like I say, it's that desire.
I think, just on Reece Martin, I think when you evaluate his game, he's played halfback for Leeds. He has. His goal kicking is the best in the league, one of the best in the world for me. And just on best in the world, I think there isn't many. I can't think of one. There might be one or two in the NRL. I don't think there's one in Super League. A legit second rower who could kick as well as Reece did for his try. It's perfection. Yeah. And his run as well. It kind of reminded me, I know it's a different sport, but for anyone that's a football fan, it reminded me of Gareth Bale v Barcelona. When he knocks it past, I think it's Marcelo, and he runs off the pitch and then comes back in. It just reminded me of that, because off the initial kick, I felt he's not going to get that. But then, like they said, I think it was Reece who said, his speed, his turn of pace, and Alpha Morg's no slow coach, is he? And the desire just to score. And when he scored, I just thought that is absolutely awesome. And that kind of will to never let the play die, to never let the ball die, will see us far. And if to me, I hope that bleeds into the rest of the squad as well, in that if they've seen Reece do that, I want other players, not just the ones capable of kicking. Maybe I want someone else to put it on the toe and give it a go, try and create something from nothing. Now, for me, I think Reece Martin, taking into consideration all of his skills, I think he's one of the best back rowers in the game.
He's definitely in Super League at the moment.
No, I'm genuine across the world. Honestly,
I love Loy after a win.
He's ace, isn't he? You have got some good points, though, because like you said, his skill set, there's not many back rows, like I said, within Super League, that what is versatile or what he can do with ball in hand or ball to boot, etc. And like you said, he is really versatile. Whether that goes across the world, Eddie, though, I'm not too sure.
Honestly, genuinely, he's one of the best back rowers in the world. There's not many I'd rather have over him. His skill set's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Just on Reece Martin, there were two beautiful tackles by Rhinos players. And Reece, you've requested one, the Zayn Tavana one on Twitter, which we'll come to in a minute. But what about that beautiful hit from Reece Martin on Mitchell Pearce? That was a real bell ringer, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't like Mitchell Pearce either, so I quite enjoyed that one. In fact, I enjoyed it quite a lot. But yeah, what I like about it, we watched the game this morning. Pearce is smiling after he gets it, almost like he appreciates that. Yeah, that was a good hit. But that there was, I can't remember if we conceded a try after that one. But those two big hits were brilliant, and I think that kind of helped lift everyone up a bit as well. But yeah, Martin's was a great hit, but it was nothing on Tetevano's.
Talk us through it, Reece.
The thing is, if Tetevano doesn't make this hit, McMeekin's over because he's only got Myler in front of him, and Myler versus McMeekin, there's only really going to be one winner there, which is John Wilkin crying because Myler be roaring on the floor. But obviously Zayn just spots it, shoots out the line, just inch perfect tackle into his body, and it was a proper thud. And it was that good. The whole crowd was like, "Wow!"
Oh, with a bell ringer.
You could hear it, you felt it. It was absolutely awesome. I don't know where you were, Phil, in the ground, but Laurie was saying he felt it on the Western Terrace, which was the opposite end of the ground. But what did you think of that tackle, Phil?
Mate, I was stood right in line with it on the in the Carnegie, on the second step, and it was literally directly in line, and it my body hurt just watching it. It was honest, it was absolutely, he didn't miss, it was timed to perfection. And I know, like you said, we don't like to name him on here, but I thought yesterday was one of his better games for Leeds, playing back in back row.
That's it, Phil. I mean, are we onto something here, Reece, Phil? Are we? Zayn Tavana in the back row, I thought he had a good game. He really good game.
He played 80 minutes again, didn't he? I think pretty much. And he had some games towards the end of the year. I think he's fit enough to play 80 minutes, and he is. I think his meterage suggests he's more of a second row than a prop. But yeah, he had a great game yesterday. That tackle was worth his marquee salary alone this year. I don't care what else he does now. That's a tackle that people remember and go back to. But I thought he was absolutely brilliant as well yesterday. Credit where credit's due. Again, the stats don't really show it for Tetevano, so I'm just looking quickly now. And I can't find his name for some reason, probably because he made 30 tackles, so he made the second most tackles. And he still got 77 meters off 8 carries, which is 9.6 meters per carry, which isn't bad. But yeah, he was absolutely brilliant all night, was Tetevano.
I'll tell you what I liked about yesterday as well, though. They seemed to be more together as a team from previous weeks. I thought we everything they did, they celebrated. Do you know what I mean? So when they put a decent shot on, or when we'd done some really good stuff, that you see people come in to congratulate them. Where I didn't get that same feeling when we played Gas. You know, just think we seemed to be more together as a team yesterday, which I thought really drove us on a lot.
Well, there had to be as well, because we got that man, we got Newman sin-binned, and we talked about talking back to the ref. I know, Eddie, it's your pet hate. That Newman was daft. That's probably the only negative for me, in that he shouldn't have done what he did, and he probably rightly got sin-binned, because that's not what you do to do. But again, the team, as Phil was saying, they were much more together. They galvanised after that.
I think he got better.
So exactly. So Newman just needs to do that next week again. Now, just if we're starting to go a bit downhill, just get a yellow card again, and the team will get together.
I don't want to see that from him ever again. That's all I'll say. From the stand, when I'm watching the game, I'm a different person. I'm not the person I am. I'm a different. I react instantly. You know, I react, and I can say something, and it's almost the second it's left my lips, I regret it. But I don't want to see any Leeds player act like that again. That's as far as I can. I don't want to slag Harry Newman off because I love him to bits. Mitchell Pearce. Let's talk about Mitchell Pearce's try. What did you make of that one, Phil? I think Phil's on the moon.
I mean, do we actually know what he said? I know he had a first go, didn't he?
Yeah, so what they've said on the commentary is that the momentum dragged him over. The tackle momentum dragged him over, so he didn't double movement. It was the momentum of the tackle that that put him over the line, which, in my opinion...
No, can you hear me?
It's complete bollocks.
It keeps going a bit sort of like underwatery.
But yeah, it was complete bollocks. The commentator said, no, the referee was saying when I watched it back this morning that there was momentum that dragged him over the line, which was one.
The thing is, though, right? Who was the ref? Liam Moore. I think
it was Liam Moore. Yeah,
his positioning was perfect.
Yeah,
he's literally banging position, and he takes it up, no try. So then you've got to think the video ref. If the ref takes it up as no try, the video has to see substantial evidence to turn it over, to kind of say, right, you've got that wrong. Now, from watching the bit, I saw nothing at all to kind of understand why the video ref has said, right, that's the try.
Yeah, well, when he just showed the arm short, I just turned away at that point because I thought it was just going to be set up as no try. And when he saw that, so when I turned to look at the screen and it came on as the try, I was completely shocked because no evidence on the screen seemed to show why it was a try, but yeah.
Ginny in the comments says no, that was not a try. Ghost runner, never a try. We agree, but you see, because that try took Catalan 6 points, 8 points clear. Then Reece Martin tried an offload on his own goal line.
Well, that was because of the stupid 6 again rule. Because
off the back of that 6 again.
Catalan are prime for doing that, aren't they? Just conceding a penalty in the first tackle, knowing that they'll just when you're defending your own line. When the other end. What does it mean? Just means you get an extra tackle to set up. So Catalan do it all the time. But then, Martin's throwaway wasn't great either.
But then, even after all that, and at half time, when it was 20-8, did you feel, Phil, that at half time at 20-8, did you feel that reflected the game? Because I didn't. I thought there were like 2 errors, you know?
No. And like I said, the scoreline didn't reflect the game. I thought we'd played some good rugby, but they just took their chances a lot more. Don't get me wrong, like I said, they're a big, fast, mobile team of Catalans, and they like to throw a ball around. But I think we compete with them, and I know you tweeted, Eddie, didn't you, at half time, we will win this game, and I was looking at it and thinking, where is he? What's he been on here? But I think it was key that, and I was there with my mum yesterday, and I said, we've got to score next. We have got to score next, otherwise the potential of the floodgates could open. And like I said, I don't know what was said in dressing room. at half time. But I like to think that if we can say that at the beginning of the game rather than in the middle of it when we're 14 points down, we might not. But yeah, like you said, it was good. I just think they were a bit more clinical in when they had the chances in the first half. They were a bit more clinical and finished it.
Do you agree with that, Reese? 22-8 half time didn't reflect the game?
No, it didn't at all. And I actually thought we played really well. So I kind of came in a bit at half time, a bit confused because it didn't feel like we were 14 points worse off than them at all. Obviously, the kicking didn't help in that respect. But no, I didn't think it was a fair reflection of how the game had gone. But it also meant, that's what it was. And they had to react and they did.
Jared O'Connor, he is now our number 9 officially. Corey Johnson, obviously, in backup now. Cruz Leeming's left for the Gold Coast Titans. What do you think of Jared's performance, Reese? I thought he played well. I thought he took his try. Such a classic, cliche hooker's try for me. And it was really good to see because I kind of said to my mate who went to the game when he scored, I'm like, to me, him kind of looking for the opportunity and that kind of try kind of confirmed he's here and he's made the transition now. So rather than being someone who's moulding into from a second row, from a loose forward into a hooker, might just be how I'm seeing it. I felt that kind of try confirmed to me he is now A9 and R9.
I think Jared had a great game. I don't think Jared has bad games, really, does he?
He doesn't.
Reese
he can't because he came on the pod. So it's impossible.
Yeah, he came on the pod. Sorry. Since he's come on the pod, actually, he's been the best rider.
It's no coincidence.
It's no coincidence at all.
We talk him up on the podcast, and he just goes on and on, and his trajectory is unbelievable. Carry on, sorry.
But he was great. I thought his runs from dummy half were brilliant on yesterday, and he chose to do it at the right time. When he doesn't often run from dummy half, but when there was the right opportunity to do so, he took it. And obviously, one of those was the try. Because again, Arthur Morgan, I don't know what Arthur Morgan had done. He kind of fell out of the tackle and then shifted round and left a massive gap. But Jared was absolutely on fire yesterday. And in the program, Rowan was saying that he could do 80 minutes. But I was really pleased to see Corey get 10 minutes because I thought Corey actually looked really good. But no, Jared was great as always. Loads of tackles as always. But I thought his running from dummy half was exceptional yesterday.
You agree with that, Phil?
Yeah, it was a good one. Like you said, there were a bit of concern of who's going to take over from Leeming. And after Jada's performance yesterday, you've got to say Cruz, haven't you? Because I agree with Reese. He ran at the right time, he gave it the right time, and when he went forward, he did it against lazy defenders, and he was a real threat. He made some good yards yesterday, didn't he, as well, I think, Reese, with, picking up and going from half-back. He did it. He was a real threat going forward. But yeah, I'd like to see him start there, and we've got a good backup now coming back again through with Corey Johnson, haven't we?
I agree with Reese as well, because Jared could have stayed on for 80 minutes because he is now an 80-minute hooker. But I think with Leeming leaving, it's time Corey kind of took some minutes just in case, God forbid, something happens to Jared, like he gets injured, and then we are backing up onto Corey. Do you think it's good, that kind of transition, to kind of keep Corey now consistently in the team, Phil, now that there's that space for him?
Yeah, and it'll create that competition for places. I think Jared's next bit now is to, he's got a good opportunity to make that spot his own, hasn't he? And as we saw yesterday, he can do that, and surely that's got to pull Corey Johnson along as well, because he's going to get a few more minutes. Like you said, we like to rotate the hookers round, even though Jared could play 80 minutes, but it can only, if he looks to settle there, it can only pull Corey Johnson through as well, which will leave us in better stead, really.
Agree with that, Reese?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think the advantage that Corey has is that he is a hooker and has always played hooker, really. And from youth, Jared is still learning position. So I think that still makes the competition very healthy between Jared and Corey. But at the moment, Jared is probably the first name on the team sheet along with Cam Smith. With those two, because they are the best. But Corey, I thought Corey was good for his 10 minutes that he came on. So hopefully he does continue to get those 10, 15 minutes here and there. And if we ever do need him, he's ready.
Well, you briefly mentioned him there, Reese. Shall we go on to Cammy, the mullet man?
I love him.
Cam Smith Appreciation Society. Have you got his stats, Reese? Because
He was in Manchester.
Yeah, I mean, we always wax lyrical about this guy anyway, but I'm really intrigued to see his stats.
So he topped the tackle count with 51.
Of course he did. There we go again.
He only missed one tackle.
Of course
he did 5 tackle breaks. Only made 60 meters from 13 carries. But obviously got an assist as well with that assist pass for Newman.
That assist is gorgeous, and I do. Maybe this is just my reading, so nobody get offended by this.
I know what your readings are like, Eddie, as well.
There we go. There we go.
I just feel like when it comes to Cammy, that kind of part of his game gets forgotten about or underappreciated. That's just my reading, because he is so skillful. And I mean, he should have played at the World Cup anyway, but we've got to be talking about an England international now. I mean, there isn't, I'm going to go again here, but there isn't a loose forward in Super League who can play that pass. That pass was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I kind of remember, might have been last year or the year before, when he came back in from an injury, and I think it was Richie Marler was saying that when Cammy plays, he offers so much that the halves can almost take a breather, because I know that he kind of does a bit of that for them. What did you make of that pass, Reece? I mean, unbelievable.
What I liked about him most, though, was that it looked like the play had gone dead.
Yeah.
And he just took the opportunity, had that second to himself, thought about it, and then just threw the pass. And I was crapping myself at first because I thought, this is an interception. But it was just perfect, wasn't it? Inch perfect for Newman literally just to walk it in. And that's the measure of how good the pass was. Newman could have just walked it in. So he was probably up there with probably the best assist so far for the Rhinos this year, I think.
Easily. Do you agree with that, Phil?
Yeah. I was a bit like Reece. I was like, what are you doing? He should have gone first time, because it looked like he took it one step too far and shown the ball a little bit. And I'm like, should have gone. And then he floated it up, and I was like, but yeah, Newman didn't have to break stride, did it? No. But I think you're right. He does offer that. He is really skillful. He has got half-back skills, hasn't he, Cam Smith? But yeah, it was a majestic pass.
From a majestic player with a beautiful, majestic mullet. The mullet's coming on now.
You and Phil are doing really well, actually, with your mullets, I have to say.
I keep threatening to grow, and I said my hair grows at back and sides, just not on top.
Mine doesn't. What a beautiful man. What a beautiful, beautiful man. Another try for Tom Holroyd, and we're getting closer and closer to him being reunited with Michaletsky, possibly next week. Duncan, wink, wink. Tom Holroyd, Reece, do we have a couple of his stats? I think, is that 3 tries for him this year? 2
it's
tries?
His second try, because he got one against Wakefield, if I can remember rightly. He got 26 tackles. He made 93 meters off 10 carries, so averaging 9.3. But I mean, his try was really interesting because it was almost like he was meant to be Richie Myler or someone in that spot. How he was taking the back line and hiding out, but he just slipped. The only little gripe I'm going to have about Holroyd's try is go nearer the post. Reece Martin was kicking him everywhere apart from over the post or through the post. So at least help him out from that aspect. But no, Holroyd was great again, and his strongest thing to me is his carrying, and he doesn't give up at the point of contact. He always drives those legs to go further forward. But no, he's getting a bit of a knack for scoring and being in those places at the moment. So maybe we'll see some more.
Tom Holroyd, Phil, having a good start to the year.
He is, and I'm going to be honest here. I've never really been a big Tom Holroyd fan. But I think I like what he's doing, and I'm massively growing into what he's doing. Like I said, his go forward's really great, and when he popped up yesterday, it seems to, whether we're having a rest out back there, Reece, I'm not too sure, but if he keeps popping up in them positions, But yeah, like I said, he is a grafter, and he knows what his job is, and he does it well. So long may it continue.
Been thinking about that. It's a very young front row, wasn't it? You know,
Yeah.
O'Connor, Walters, and Holroyd.
Mm.
I thought the team selection was genius, to be honest,
Yeah.
from Rowan. When I saw the team lead sheet, I thought that's bang on. And I thought that was great. But no, Holroyd played. Walters had a good game as well, I thought. But which player's next on your list to rave about, Eddie?
McDonald.
He's just a good player, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's just it's because this may sound a little bad and out of turn, but it's so surprising to me. I don't know how everyone else feels listening to this, watching this, because did any of us expect him to be not playing this way, but playing it all? Did any of us think he would get any minutes? I mean,
He doesn't look out of place, does he?
Exactly. The fact he's come straight in now, and we've said since the first game, myself and he's undroppable now. You can't not play him.
We didn't think he'd get much game time because you got Bentley, Martin, Gannon. You know, Ivano can play there. Sometimes Walters has played there. You know, you've got a real big depth in second row. So I don't think we expect him to get as much game time. Now, obviously, injuries happen. But at the moment, like you said, I don't know how you drop him out. Because he's only missed in the 4 games he's played, he's missed 7 tackles only, which means he's averaging, you know, he averages around, so I'm just looking now, he averages around 34 tackles a game at the moment. So, you know, he really puts shift in, but he just doesn't look out of place. And he's getting better in attack each game, I think, as well. He's getting stronger in that area as well. But I'd rather have these selection problems when we don't know. And I'm more than happy to be surprised at how much game time he's getting and how just simple it looks in terms of him being in that team.
Looks good, doesn't it, Phil?
He does, mate. I like him. I do. And, you know, I agree with everything you said. It's like, he doesn't look out of place. Did we expect it for somebody coming in and being so young? No. But, you know, he's an international, isn't he? You know, he knows what his job is. But I like him. Like I said, I call him the silent assassin. If you watch him, he just goes around bending people and just getting stuck into his work. But, you know, as Reece said there, you know, that competition for places is good. But I suppose it's up to Rowan now and the management team to manage him now, and it manage his minutes and manage him well, you know, as we're doing with Morgan Gannon, so we avoid situations like that. So it's about their management now, I think. But you're right, you've got to start him. I don't think you can drop him.
It also makes me excited for the other couple of Rowan's picks, you know, because obviously this is like the first one we've really seen play Super League in McDonald. But Luke Hooley, Leon Rowan, it makes me excited that if Rowan's hand-picked McDonald, what are the others going to be like, you know? So kind of...
I mean, I can tell you how to play today, and it wasn't that good. Polly and Ruan got stepped back about 4 or 5 times. Tyndall got a try, to be fair. Lewis Roberts bombed a couple of things. The one that did play really well was Joe Gibbons for Keithley. He was absolutely immense. Again, he's another young second row that's coming through that at some point he's going to start competing for those places. And judging on what he's done today at Keithley, he was smashing as well.
Coming through. Couple of short kickoffs. Phil, are you a fan of the old short kickoff?
I like it. It's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it.
You know, you're chasing game. You've got to do something to do it. I know Kyle Amor don't like it, does he? But, you know, he's the guy what don't like the team song but spent 20 years singing it, you know. So, you know, we won't go on what he says. But, yeah, I suppose there's a time and a place, isn't there? You know, if it's bit of a nip and tuck game and you just got in front and you want to be pinning them down in their own half and putting a good defensive set on, but yeah, mix it up, make it unpredictable, and you know, as long as we chase it down and put some effort in. I mean, yesterday though, the Catalans did catch it, didn't they? Anticipated it were coming back, tapping it back, and he'd read it, and we're giving easy yards. But I suppose if we're prepared for that, yeah, let's mix it up and let's not be predictable and not keep them guessing.
I'd have them every single kickoff.
I know you would. Because Rowan was going like the crowd was celebrating and they love it when we do stuff like that. We love it when it works. When it doesn't work, we don't love it.
Every kickoff for me. Every single kickoff.
Eddie would make a great coach, wouldn't he? Just do this, just do that.
Just be like Danny Maguire. That's all I need you to do.
That would be the match.
But I'm a prop, Eddie. I don't care. I just need to be like Danny Maguire.
Exactly. Well, look at Reece Martin, play like a halfback. That would be the match meetings, going through the tactics. It'd just be me on the whiteboard with the touchscreen playing Danny Maguire. That's just we need to play like this. Anyway. Just on our attack, on our second half, I thought our attack was wonderful. I thought everything about us, we never ever stopped playing the way we wanted to play. That's how I want us to see. I don't think our attack has been that good since probably the Wigan, Rowan's first home game. Wigan, we're back with them.
I think so, yeah.
Everybody wrote us off, didn't they?
Yeah, would you? I don't know. Would you agree, Phil, that our attack in that second half just looked amazing?
Yeah, and I think, like I said, we were up against it, weren't we? We had to score first in that second half. But I know what's been spoke about on previous pods around structures and that and stuff. And Rhinos, we like to play free rein rugby, don't we? Play what's in front of you, play what you see, and throw it all around. And yesterday, it proved that we can do it. And it suits our style of game. But yeah, it was good. It was nice to see have that free rein and go and not be too structured.
Do you agree with that, Reece? More of the same, more fluid attack.
Absolutely, but I think even in the first half, it looked good as well. Like we've seen in some games this year where the first receiver's got it and they've either killed the play or Cruz might have taken it in on fifth for some reason, or we've just had a bit of a lax sort of lack of creativeness in the final tackle. But I think I don't have completed set stats, but I feel like we completed a majority of our sets, or at least we finished with a decent kick. And obviously that attacking helped because of the kicking game as well. So I think, that for me now really is the standard in terms of how we attacked in that second half. We've got to do that again now.
I agree. I don't care who the opponents are, whether it's a lower league, Challenge Cup side, or whether it's St Helens. That to me, that consistently playing that way for me is the future. Something that only came to light to me today was this late hit on Richie Myler. Just quickly before I kind of jump and ask you both, did any of you see this during the game for the Newman try?
No.
I was too busy trying to keep holding my pint whilst jumping up and down.
I'm the same. Soon as Richie passed it to Harry, it would have tried, wasn't it? So I'm off celebrating, but I can't. Have to forgive me. Someone brought it to light on Twitter today, and I'm assuming you've both seen it. I mean, I think is it Tom Davis who comes across and wipes him out? He's got to be looking at a ban race.
Oh yeah, I mean it's completely late off the ball and high. It's all
free again, yeah.
It's all. I mean, I did see someone put Helen Skelton likes this, which makes me laugh. But yeah, because Tom Johnston also got shot by a sniper in that video clip as well.
I hope it's all right because he generally looked like he got hurt there.
Yeah, he didn't score. Another positive. Tom Johnson didn't score a length for the field try against us, which he normally does at Headingley.
Am I right in saying as well that previous to that he'd scored 5 in 5 against us?
Yeah, something stupid like that. Yeah. But no, it was off the ball, late and high. It's a ban.
Agree, Phil?
Yeah, I didn't pick it up in game. I like you guys celebrating when Newman got in between sticks, but when I saw it, I don't even think the referee or officials picked it up though, did they? Any of them yesterday. They didn't even speak to him after it had been done. So it'd be interesting to see what the match review board on Monday night pick up with it. But yeah, I'd expect a game.
If Bentley got one for his, that's at least a one, if not more. Yeah.
I mean, he's probably got a decent record on it. I don't think he's that type of player. He's what we're good to see though. Is that Richie Myler bounced straight back up. He did get straight back up. He didn't.
No, Phil, John Wilkins says he rolls around on the floor. That's all he ever does. Even when a 20-stone Tongan hits him clean in the head and knocks him out, he just rolls around on the floor. Johnny Lomax doesn't roll on the floor though, apart from when John Wilkins talking about it and Johnny Lomax is rolling on the floor in the background. But sorry, you've hit a point here. You've hit a trigger. But yeah, Myler did bounce back up. To be fair. To him. Yeah. Because he does have a little bit of a tendency to milk things.
Another thing that I loved from the game was obviously Reece Martin, for whatever reason. And in the way we talk about Blake Austin has to do his same routine, whatever it ate, whatever he wore, all the way through to try and get that perfect game again. Whatever Reece Martin did, should never do it again because we need his goal kicking back. Because he just kept, for whatever reason, he kept missing. We're getting weird to me. Like I was weirded out thinking, is he doing this on purpose? Because there were a couple at middle at goal. Thinking, is he just literally taking the mick? But when he did, finally, was it the last conversion? Dead in front of the goals. What I did love was the cheer, the ironic cheer, when he smashed it straight through middle. And then there were a huge applause, and he kind of holds his arm.
He did a massive celebration there.
He did kind of see the funny side, but this is an abnormality, isn't it, Reece? We're never going to see this again.
No, I don't think I need to check the stats, but I don't think Reece has ever missed that many for us.
Never. In his career, I'll say in his career.
It was a very strange thing. Because again, I brought two of my mates that have never been to rugby before, and they're like, "Is he this bad?" I went, "No, he's literally got the record for the most kicks in a row." Like, I can't explain why he's missing.
I hope prior to the game, similar to what you said about for the Wakey game when you were waxing lyrical about Newman, I hope you were waxing lyrical about Reece Martin.
But they were like, why are they still letting him do it? Because he is the best kicker, but he's missed 5. I don't know.
To be fair, though, when Newman scored, he did give Aidan Caesar the ball to kick the goal, and Caesar giving it back. He was going, "No, here, you do it.
You need this. You need this.
You need to practice." Bit of confidence, but it was biggest cheer at day, wasn't it, when it went over?
It was, and I loved it. I just thought that.
But even he knew we were laughing and joking, and he was like waving to the crowd.
I needed him to kick the goals as well, because everyone shouts my name when he gets a kick, and I don't get my ego boost. And I really wanted my mates to hear that, like, they've never experienced that. So I just wanted them to ask, why are they just shouting your name, Bruce? But yeah, did you see Sam Massone's drop goal just after the full-time whistle, after the hooter went?
No.
He did a drop goal and he put it right through the post from 20 30
Really?
Yeah. Oh, and he celebrated that. Yeah. No, I enjoyed the ironic cheer.
I did.
Get it. I did enjoy that, yeah.
There's not much I'll enjoy more than an ironic cheer. I don't think there's a better place on earth than Headingley anyway, but when Headingley, there's certain times when it kind of grows, but a lot of things have to play its part. So the Mitchell Pearce decision, and then the Harry Newman, and then it builds, and then the momentum comes, and then by the time we went, I just think there's no better place when Headingley's bouncing like it was. I think that atmosphere was one of the best we've had in years. Do you think? And it kind of got me thinking on the way out: could the atmosphere be saved?
Go on, Phil. I would say I could it be saved? I don't know. I think they did all the right things in terms of the club, in terms of getting people in there. But like you say, the fans were reacting obviously to that disallowed try, and then the 6 again thing. But as soon as we got that try, Myler's try, when we were man down, you could feel the whole place go, "We can do this." Yeah. And I think the crowd played a massive part in the side, because I
agree
that. We were talking that pre-season, weren't we, in the pre-season review, that Huddersfield in the big games, they won't be able to get over the line as much or react because they don't have that weight of support behind them. But when you've got literally every single person, there's no away fans there. Literally every single person in the crowd was a Rhinos fan, literally chanting, shouting to get behind the team. But I think because the energy of the place was so good. But yeah, I hope we can keep that. But obviously, that keeps if we keep winning.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always nice, isn't it? It's always nice with a good win. But yeah, the atmosphere was good. It was a great afternoon, and sets you up for a good weekend, doesn't it? You feel happy coming home on a Saturday afternoon, thinking, yeah, it's been all right. We've had a good day. But yeah, to score 2 tries while we're a man down as well, that's when your ears prick up a bit and you think, hang on a minute, we can do this here. We can do this. And the 14,000 and some crowd.
Something like that, yeah.
3-3-1 or something.
Yeah, sure, yeah. We all played a vital part in it.
And I think the proof's there, just in terms of that 1 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday for Channel 4 or for Sky or whoever. I think the proof's there that it works. Now, I know it was an international football weekend and, kind of things playing the part, but I do feel that it can be an attractive type of kickoff. I'm kind of talking to Phil before we started, Reece, about that summer rugby and 1 o'clock. Do you think it could be here to stay? Kind of, even if, God forbid, Channel 4 pull the plug. I don't think they will.
No.
Do you think it's something that Sky, whoever, could kind of grab hold of and say, or maybe let me model it this way, sorry. Could Sky look at it and go, we'd like a mid-afternoon Saturday game?
I think they should. I don't see any negatives to the afternoon kickoffs. I see one, and it was a state of my head this morning. But
you can't blame Channel 4 for that.
No, I can't. I got far too giddy after that game yesterday. Yeah, I enjoyed it far too much. I absolutely love Saturday afternoon. There was loads of kids, loads of families, loads going on. You know, the trains are rammed as well, getting to the stadium. Like everything just goes for it. I think it's just much better. I really like Saturday afternoon kickoffs because you get a bit more time to enjoy the game. I mean, instead of rushing home from work and getting sorted, or not going home, just going straight from work or whatever. And people have got kids, to do the pickups and the beds and stuff like that. And Saturday afternoon was just a day for everyone. And I love Saturday afternoon kickoffs, and I really hope to stay.
Agree with that, Phil?
Yeah, as I was saying before, more of it. I think as a Rhinos fan, it suits us, but more of a rugby fan, it just makes it more accessible to everybody. Like, who wants to be trailing everybody out on a cold, damp Friday night for an 8 o'clock kickoff down Cass or wherever? You just
no, there isn't a good enough reason to go to Castleford.
No. And I ain't going again after other week's performance. I went down there, and every time I've gone, we played shocking. So I've vowed never to go again. but yeah, make the game accessible to everybody and showcase and highlight it as it proved yesterday afternoon. It was great. I
agree. It was awesome. Just to wrap the match review up, man of the match. Is this a stupid question, Reece?
It's only one person, isn't it? I mean, Jared deserves a shout. Cam deserves a shout. Reece deserves a shout. I think nearly every player you could probably say a shout, but even then, it's Blake Austin without a shout.
Every time we win, and we've said this loads, but every time we win, we always say anyone could be man of the match.
But yeah, I mean, people who had quieter days like Fussy, he didn't have much to do, but what he did do as well, I think Fussy's carrying out from the back is the strongest. He's really making up for us not having Hanley. So I could go for. I thought Richie Mile had a great game at fullback. His vision for the final try and also being on the shoulder for Caesar. I thought Darren Alfords was brilliant when he came on. I did enjoy everyone shouting forward as soon as he got the ball every time. But he took his try really well. He had to really put a really good fend in to finish that try. So he played really well. Who have we not mentioned? Holroyd had mentioned, Walters had mentioned, McDonald does his job. Everyone, Sangre did his part, Lasone did a great game. Everyone was good, but that's why we won, because everyone was good and everyone could be man of the match. But it's Blake Austin.
Blake Austin, do you agree with that, Phil? Man of the match?
100%, definitely, yeah, 100%.
Stone Cold Blake Austin, absolutely unbelievable. Lot Pod man of the match, Stone Cold Blake Austin, 10 out of 10. On to the next game to finish this match review panel. Hull KR away.
Yeah.
In terms of the team selection, Phil, Oledzki could be back, Bentley back. Is anyone dropping out? Do you change your winning team? How do you see it?
I think after yesterday's performance, unless there's any little niggler injuries, what we don't really know about, throw the same team out again. You can't just put James Bentley straight back in and drop anybody else. And other Oledzki coming back, it'd be nice to just get him into the game. He'll probably be on the bench, I'm guessing, and get some minutes just to test him out. But I don't think you can change it too much, really, if I'm honest.
Reece?
I don't know. It's really hard to, because you always want to reward them, don't you, for what was a great performance. But Bentley's a good player. Oledzki played every single game last year and was the most meters out of any prop in the Super League last year. So I don't think you can leave players like that out. So I think it might be an opportunity to rest some people out. But I don't imagine Oledzki playing a full stint as he normally would do. So I imagine him to drop for maybe Justin and give Justin a a week off. Maybe that's the only thing I can see. And they might take Corey off if they're confident that Jared's 80 minutes. But I think that would be harsh on those two because they know they played really well. So I don't want to change a winning side, but Aledski and Bentley are just too good not to play.
I agree. In that, I don't think on both counts. I don't think they should change the winning side, but I think Aledski needs minutes, and I think Hull KR is a game where he could and should get some minutes. And I think Rowan kind of spelling Bentley at hooker, to me, I think he'll do that again at KR. So I think Corey will drop out, and I think it'll just be a case of Corey trying to squeeze in as and when he can to get more minutes. And I do think that needs to happen because, God forbid, as I said earlier, something happens to Jared, then we are going to rely heavily on Corey. Tetevano, then, do we keep him at second row? Are we happy with him playing there? Yeah.
Play like that every week. He can play second row. It's fine to me.
Right. Predictions to finish off. Phil, thanks for coming on. It's been awesome, Reese.
Thank you for having us. Always a pleasure.
Predictions. I'll start with Phil. What's your prediction for Hull KR versus Leeds?
I think Leeds will win 28-8.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Reese?
I'm going to go for a 12-point win.
28-8. Reese 12. Leeds are going to win by 38 points. James Bentley is going to score 2 tries. And Harry Newman is going to score a hat-trick. Thank you to these two again. Thank you to everybody for watching on YouTube, on our live stream. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you just search the Lot Pod, that's us. You can watch all of our podcasts as we record them live. You can watch all of our specials with Danny Maguire, Rob Oates, Barry McDermott, Yestin Harris. You can watch all them back. They're all available on the YouTube channel. We will be back with the mailbag later this week. See you then.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.